So I think we can all agree that Neutralization Zone is a terrible A-spec, with it being a stadium that can get easily bumped. But what if there was a way that we can make it stick? What's up everyone, my name is Cisco and welcome to my very first PTCG live video on this channel. And what better way to kick things off than by showing off my brand new Copperajah deck. Alright, so here is the deck list, and I will also have it posted in the description of the video in case you want to run and test this deck out for yourself. So for our main support Pokemon, we have Metang with that Metal Maker ability. It's going to help us accelerate metal energies onto our metal Pokemon like Copperajah, and sometimes even Genesect EX, and of course the Mega Mawile EX. Genesect EX is our other support Pokemon with that Metallic Signal ability. It's going to help us get our Copperajahs and our Metangs online as soon as possible. The Mega Mawile is mostly a tech card for like Cornerstone Ogerpon, but it's also a good late game closer in case you need something to do heavy damage. Of course, we run Shaymin for the Wellspring Ogerpon matchups, and Psyducks for anything that has like Dusknoir or Magnetons in there. Helps us keep those Pokemon from basically exploding themselves. The star of the show is obviously our Copperajah EX with that Nasal Lariat attack for 4 energies. It does 130 damage, but you have the option to add an additional 100 damage, but cannot attack on the following turn, which is fine with us because for the most part we are just trying to two-shot everything, hit it for 130 first, and then hopefully knock it out with a second swing. We are relying heavily though on that massive body ability that says that when Copperajah is in the active spot, our opponent cannot play stadium cards from their hand. This is what keeps our stadiums in play. We have 2 Full Metal Labs that says that our metal Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks. We have Battle Cage that also prevents our opponents like Monkey Dories and Dusknoirs from placing damage counters on our bench Pokemon. And of course, the star of the show, the Neutralization Zone. That is the star combination of the show, is the Copperajah plus that Neutralization Zone, preventing any of those pesky EX Pokemon from hitting us. That's basically the gist of the deck. For the most part, you're going to want your board state to be 2 Copperajahs, 2 Metangs, 1 Genesect, and then you have that extra spot just in case we need the Mawile, the Shaymin, or the Psyduck. So yeah, this is the deck list, and let's go ahead and test it and see how it runs, and I'll get to show it off for my first video, so enjoy. Alright, we're going to pick Tails because Tails never fails 50% of the time, 100% of the time, like right now, of course. So with this deck, we always want to go first. So make sure that you blindly pick to go first. Alright, and this is probably not the best starting hand, but it'll have to do for now. Our opponent is taking a little while to finish setting up. Who knows what they're playing? Maybe Charizard by the sleeves. Still don't know. It could be anything. Alright, and they finally place a card down. And we're on the bench. Alright, let's see what we're up against. Mimikyu. Okay, this is interesting. Get a Lillies. Alright, basically we're gonna go ahead and bring out, I think our Genesect is the most important piece right here. The Brock Scouting can go ahead and get us our Beldum and our Cufant on the following turn. Let's go ahead and do... yeah, let's do that. We'll attach a basic and we will pass. Alright, let's see what our opponent has. If they put any Duskulls down, we're going to go ahead and put the Battle Cage in play. But as of right now, it looks like they attached to Mimikyu. That's a weird that they're attaching to Mimikyu. It seems like a strange attachment. But so does mine, so who knows. Maybe it's just so that they can retreat on the next turn. Alright, there's a Nest Ball. Will we see it? Yep, there's a Monkey Dory down. Okay, Monkey Dory. Then we do want to have our Battle Cage online as soon as possible. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and Brock Scouting first to get a Beldum and a Cufant. Put those bad boys down. Obviously we can... do we want to... we'll attach to the Cufant now. And I think we battle. Actually, Monkey Dory doesn't have any damage to work off of right now, so Battle Cage is not the top of my priority, so I think we're gonna go ahead and Full Metal Lab. Is it right to play this turn? Or Battle Cage? We haven't seen any Dusk Gulls come out, but we will do, I think, the Battle Cage for now and end our turn. See what our opponent does next. Do they have the Candy-Zard off rip? Is my opponent him? Does he have just Candy-Zard like that? The strange thing that I see about the Mimikyu though and the Monkey Dory, I'm thinking that it's not your traditional Charizard EX. It's probably the Mega Charizard XEX that our opponent is playing. Probably. Oh, they just pass. Okay, that's interesting. Alright, we get a Metal Energy. We go ahead and evolve our two guys up now. Let's go ahead and Metallic Signal so that we can prevent any whiff. Well, it's not going to prevent any whiff, but it helps us whiff less, you know? Go ahead and Metal Maker. If we get 2, we can start attacking. We did not get the 2 though, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and Lillie's Determination for now. Get a brand new set of cards. Okay, we got 2 Colress and 2. Do we want to? I think we want to put another Metang into play. So let's go ahead and Ultra Ball away 1 Colress and one of our energies, and put down another Beldum. And we will pass. Okay, let's see what our opponent does now. Terra Orb. Okay, that's going to get them the Terrazard then. There it is. Do they have the rare candy in hand? They must have rare candy in hand, right? There it is. Yep, rare candy. What's surprising is that they haven't set up any more Charmanders either here. All 3 are probably going into the Zard, I would assume. Now, question is, do they have a boss? If they have a boss in hand, that they can take out our Copperajah before it even gets swinging, which is not great because I wanted to have the swing immediately. But if they do not, then they're probably just going to hit into our Shaymin, which is fine. Our opponent is probably thinking about doing that. Okay, they attach to Monkey Dory. Fine enough. Okay. Interesting. Alright, we get Mega Mawile here. I'm going to go ahead and Metallic Signal once again to get out, thin out our hand some more. Let's go ahead and do that. We will go ahead and Metal Maker here onto our Copperajah. And probably our Genesect is fine. Let's go ahead and retreat here. Bring up our Copperajah. Do we boss? Yeah, I think we boss and start swinging into the Charizard. Yeah, I don't think they're knocking out our Copperajah this turn. Actually, they might be able to. 180. Yeah, it might have been a bad idea to do that actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, that was a bad idea for sure. Because basically what happens is if I swing here, that's going to give them enough damage to move back and then attack with Burning Darkness, which then I will not have an answer to. Yeah, because this will allow them to move it to my active. Let's go to Full Metal Lab, I guess. Yeah, I think that guarantees our survival. And hopefully we can get another Copperajah started next go around, maybe. Depends on what we draw. See, they can go ahead and Adrenabrain. Alright, our opponent is thinking, because that's probably the play that they have right now is Adrenabrain. They don't have to put it on our active now, at least. But that's probably what they're going to do. Put it on the active and then attack, swing with Charizard, but it's not enough for the knockout though. And then we can knock them out on the following turn. So Burning Darkness here is only effectively doing 150 damage. Okay, they're gonna boss up. That's interesting that they chose to boss something up after they had already Adrenabrained onto my Copperajah. Okay, interesting. There's a Psyduck. Not really what we need here. Let's see. Go ahead and retreat. Bring back up our Copperajah. We're gonna go ahead and I think we Coal Res. Ooh, we prize Neutralization Zone. Not good. Should have probably price checked better. Just put one there for now. Metallic Signal, thin out the deck some more. Let's go ahead and knock out this Charizard. Okay, take 2 prizes from that. Both Metal Energies, so not Neutralization Zone. Okay, that's fine. We can deal with this. Okay, so they're playing Dragapult as well with the Charizard, but it looks like they've probably been breaking hard then. Super Rod. Fire and the Charmander. So this is a very unconventional Dragapult Charizard deck, but you know, the Mimikyu is definitely an interesting choice here. There's an Iono. Okay, I guess we need to set up another Copperajah though. I think it's correct here to just Lillie's Determination. Yep, I'm going for it. Okay, not great. I think we do that and then we just pass. We need to get another Copperajah online as soon as possible. Maybe I should have just passed and then that way we can boss up like Monkey or the Dreepy the next turn. It was probably a mistake to Lillie's. It should have just held the hand. Probably a mistake. Okay. But we shall see what we can pull off from this. Let's go ahead and rock Scouting. Get ourselves a Cufant and a Beldum. Let's set another one up. Metallic Signal. Get out these two. Put the Copperajah. Oh. And let's go ahead and Nose Lariat without doing the damage. Alright. Take another card. There's the Neutralization Zone. A little late for that now. But let's see what our opponent does next. Are they gonna... They're probably gonna promote the Dreepy here. Oh, they're going for the Monkey Dory. Okay. Interesting play. And they pass. Okay, we get the Nest Ball. Let's go ahead and evolve into Copperajah to have another one for backup. Metal Maker. Can we hit energy? There's one. Attach. Manually attach. Do we get another energy here? We do not. Okay, so we whiff the energy attachment there. But it's no worries. We can go ahead and Nasal Lariat here. We do not need to do the extra damage, and we are knocking out the Monkey Dory with one hit. Alright, let's see what our opponent does next. There's an Iono. Do they have... They would really need Candy Dragapult here in order to do anything. I say that, but they could probably boss up. Yep, they're gonna boss up Metang, of course. I just had to say it into existence, basically. Is the Mezagoza. Alright, they get a backup Pokemon now. What are they going to get here? Mega Kangaskhan. Interesting. This is definitely a different kind of deck here. Switch? Okay, perfect. That's fine with me. Go ahead and run Aaron now. Terra Orb. Alright, how many energies are in this card? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we only have 2 more energy cards to work with here. So we need to find them. So Cufant. Let's see here. Best thing to do is Metallic Signal here. Alright. There's nothing left in the deck to get. So hopefully we hit into our Metal Makers here. That would definitely do it for us. Okay, there's one. Do we get the second? Do we get the second? Is it in the deck? No, we whiff. Okay, interesting. Let's go ahead and Neutralization Zone, and I think we're gonna Lillie. Hopefully we will hit into or Iono. Iono might be best here actually. No, but I'm only drawing 2 cards. Alright, I guess we're gonna Lillie. Hopefully we can find our last energy card, and we do not. So we'll just go ahead and pass. We also haven't hit into our Super Rod, which we need to get back those energies. I think I'm gonna run Energy Recycler instead of Super Rod, but Super Rod is good because I get Psyduck back in case they knock it out. They're attaching to Mega Kangaskhan. Nest Ball. Ooh, a regular Kangaskhan EX. This is a weird deck for sure. Not what I expected to bump on the ladder, honestly. Ultra Ball. Let's go ahead and thin out. We don't need the Heavy Baton. We don't need the other Metang. Let's get out. What do we get out? Since we can't thin out basics, we can do that, I guess. Alright, please. We just need to hit 1 energy. Nothing there. If we don't hit anything, then it probably means that our last energy is definitely prized, which is not great. I don't want to Iono either. Alright, I guess we just pass. Now we just gotta wait for them to get the stadium bump and attack into our Metang. Definitely not the best time to play Neutralization Zone, for sure. This is definitely mistakes were made on this game, for sure. I think our last energy is definitely prized. We can check with Nest Ball to see if our energy is in there, because otherwise we're just looking in vain. And we're stuck until they knock us out. Alright, there's Crispin. But they probably, the thing is that they need the stadium to knock us out. This is definitely not a good game for us here. Definitely messed that one up. Okay, we get Super Rod though, so we can bring back our energy. So at least now we know we have some in there. Alright, hopefully we hit into this now. Oh, we got all three off rip. Okay. So we can attach there to retreat, and attach here just in case they try to bring up our other Metang now. Alright, we can retreat, bring up Copperajah without any damage on it. Then we can hit with the nose lariat. No, we do not want to do the extra damage. Okay, now they need to stadium bump, and they need to boss stadium bump if they want to get an attack off here with the Kangaskhan. If not, we can knock them out for the win on the next turn. Could have definitely played this game better. Yes, definitely. A lot of mistakes are made. I just want to say this now, I guess, as a disclaimer. I am not a professional player, okay? I've not won a league challenge or a league cup. I just go to locals and I get lucky to make top 8 sometimes, and then I give whatever packs I win to my viewers here on Thursday nights. By the way, now is a good time to plug that in. Every Thursday nights we go live and we give away some booster packs to one lucky viewer every Thursday night if we can. Sometimes things get in the way, but for the most part, Thursday nights, Pokemon TCG packs giveaways. Okay, they're switching. I don't know if they noticed that. I don't think they know what Neutralization Zone does. They cannot attack here unless they boss. Okay, this is fine. We are knocking out with one hit actually on this Kangaskhan, so we're fine. It was probably a mistake on their part to do that actually. This is still gonna lose them the game. Okay. And I think that is game. Go ahead, and do we want to do the damage? Yes, we do. That is the knockout on the Kangaskhan EX. And that is our last 2 prizes. And that is GG's to our opponent. On to the next game. Alright, we picked Tails. Tails never fails 50% of the time, 100% of the time, as it did right now. Hopefully our opponent chooses for us to go first, because this deck wants to go first. They will go first. Okay, no worries. Alright, and we get a Genesect to kick us off. Alright, boys and girls, remember to prize check. Prize check is important. Okay, this is another unusual deck. Audino with a Delmise and a Genesect. Interesting concept. Okay. There's a Copperajah, which we don't really need right now. Okay, what do we get here? All right, let's price check. Do we have... We have 2 Metangs. Do I have any in hand? No, so we prized 1. We have 1 Copperajah in hand. We have all our Copperajahs. 2. We do have our Super Rod. We do have Neutralization Zone. And we have 13 energies, which we have 2. So we have 15 for sure in the deck. Okay. Let's see. We are going to go ahead and get out a Beldum here. No, let's get out the Cufant here. Alright, we're going ahead. Ultra Ball away. Energy. I don't know if I want to get rid of the boss this early in the game right now. I think we're going to go ahead and get rid of another... Just going to get rid of the other Ultra Ball here. Let's go ahead and get out the Beldum. Alright, we're going to go ahead and attach to the Cufant now. Gonna Metallic Signal here. Get out one of each. And then we're going to go ahead and pass. This Genesect is pretty good, except we're not really too scared of it right now because we don't see Chikorita in play. But it looks like they're trying to go for that speed attack for some reason. Alright, what are they hitting into? Hit 20 damage. They're hitting... Okay, yeah, they're hitting 20. For each grass energy, so... Alright. And evolve there. Evolve there. Go ahead and... do... this... I think we can boss up this Delmise. You have Stadium in play to attack. Does 15 more damage. Alright, let's see. 1 retreat cost. I don't want him to keep hitting into my Metang. That's the thing. So I'm going to have to set up another one. Alright, let's thin up the deck. Hopefully we can hit into more energy that way. Alright, Metal Maker. We only hit 1. That is unfortunate. Alright, I guess we'll get it on the Copperajah. We'll boss up the Delmise, I guess. And our turn. We need to hit 3 energies for us to start swinging here next turn. Okay, there's a Badoo. They need a switch or Turo. Okay, they get Cyrano. What EX Pokemon do they get? Okay, Heracross and Miraidon. That's interesting. It's an unconventional deck, but I like seeing new decks like this. You know, it's kind of boring just playing Gardevoirs and Dragapults all the time. Countercatcher. Okay. Let's go ahead and Metallic Signal. Get out some more. Okay, I guess we can't thin out the deck any more than that. Metal Maker, can we hit into 3? Oh, we got 2. Okay, that's something. Let's go do that and do that. And then I guess we pass. Alright, let's see what we get here. Our opponent is on top deck mode, much like we are, honestly. Oh look, this floating card here. Alright, we need 1. We get 2. Okay, I think we can put both of them on Genesect. That way, in case they boss it up again, we don't need that many. Let's go ahead and retreat. Oh, and PTCG doing what it does best. Just tripping out. Okay, bro. Let's see. We have all our evolutions, so we don't need any of that. Let's go ahead and Nasal Lariat. Do we want to do the extra damage? No, we don't need to. Take the first knockout here. There's the Colress, so we can get out our... Okay, they put the Kecleon up. Can't attack with it just yet either. Right now that Miraidon is basically their biggest threat. And they just pass again. Okay, interesting. Alright, we get another Cufant, luckily, thank God. Okay, let's go ahead and we will Coal Res for a Metal Lab, I think. It's a good move, I think, to do now. Metal Lab, we leave the energy in there because we want to hit into it with the Metangs. Full Metal Lab. Actually, wouldn't have been bad to get it now that I think about it. Let's go ahead and Metal Maker here. Ooh, whiff. Not good. Alright, Nasal Lariat. No. Do we hit? Okay, Tails. So, we do the damage. Perfect. Alright, that's 2 prizes down. That's good for our Mawile. There's another Metang. But we need more Beldums. And we don't have any way of getting on our Beldums right now. But this Copperajah is putting in work right now in the active spot. Bug Cannon. For 0 damage. Perfect. There's an Iono. Do I want an Iono? Doesn't look like they have anything good to play, so there's no reason for me to go into Iono right here. I think we're out of evolution, so it's not even worth doing that just to shuffle the deck. Hopefully we can get some more energy here. We get 1. Okay, there's that. And then we just go ahead and Nasal Lariat here. No. Alright, this Copperajah is putting in work right now. Okay, there's our 16th energy. We had 15 in the deck, so we only prized 1 energy. Surprisingly, out of 16 energies in the deck, we only prized 1, and there it is. So we're able to attach at least for turn on our Copperajah. So I should have gotten that Coal Res, that energy with the Coal Res. I would have had another energy on the Copperajah now. How many are in the discard? I think 2, right? Yes. No, 3. So that means currently, if there's 3 in the discard, there's 13 in the deck. Well, in play right now. Okay, doesn't matter. We do not care about. There's finally another Beldum. Let's go ahead and attach. Let's go ahead and Metallic Signal here. And we whiff it. Okay. No problem. That's fine. So no reason to Iono. No reason to Metallic Signal here. Let's go ahead and attack with that Nasal Lariat. Taking out this Badoo. And taking our 4th prize card. Get a boss's order. Okay. Good. I think we're gonna go ahead and just, if they don't do anything here, we're just gonna boss KO them right on EX for game. Do we have it? They could Iono themselves here as well if they have Iono. So they've been on top deck mode for a while now, but they have 7 cards in hand, so they gotta have maybe a Lillie's or an Iono. But they don't. Alright, they whiff, which that means it is game for us. It's GG's. Boss up that Miraidon. Let's go ahead and hit with the Nasal Lariat. And yes, we want to do the extra damage. And that is GG to our opponent. Weird decks that we've been playing, but this was a little bit smoother than the last game, of course. But that is the power of the Copperajah deck in action. Alright, well that's going to do it for today's video. But if you enjoy goofy decks like this, then please consider dropping a like or subscribing to the channel, as it really helps us out on our road to 500 subscribers. Please remember that every Thursday nights we go live here on YouTube, so make sure that you hit the notification bell as well to know when we do live giveaways here on the channel. And speaking of giveaways, we do have a very special one going on right now at 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to get in on that, make sure that you're subscribed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.